What is up, everyone? And welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have a little two-man game today, little pick-and-roll offense for myself, Alpha Dog Bets, here with my guy, JD from Line Movers. JD, it's been a while since it's been a little two-man game between the two of us. When we first started this show, it was just you and I every single day. So I'm excited it's just you and I yet again to break down a beautiful basketball slate on Friday, February 21st. How are you today, brother?
Yeah, man, doing very well. It has been a while. It hasn't been me and you, and it's actually been a while now. But man, it brings me back because baseball is officially started now.
Let's go.
It's actually not the regular season yet, but still, baseball is officially started back. It's just me and you on the show. It's just
a little nostalgic, right? A little nostalgic. Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Speaking of baseball. Big news coming out of the MLB world today. The New York Yankees are officially the best facial hair team in baseball. So I am happy as a Yankee fan to see that they're getting out of the Stone Ages. It's crazy that this is such a big story. Like, it's all they're talking about on ESPN all morning. I went to the store, got a little breakfast at Wawa. Shout out Wawa. Not a sponsor. Wish they were. Wawa, if you're out there, I love your food. Anyway, driving there, every single topic on the radio today was freaking the Yankees facial hair policy. And David, great point. Maybe they need a 32-year-old pitcher to come out of the bullpen. I never was able to pitch, but maybe I can now. Who knows? But I definitely think it's great that the Yankees are coming, up to the times and allowing beards for the team. What'd you think about the news, JD? I know it's not big news, but
well, I used to pitch and now I can't pitch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say at that age, I'm gonna say that you probably can't do that.
Probably not.
But it is wild that it's taken this long for this to happen. Do you think that that's really affected any players in the past from coming there? I think it has.
I do. I really do.
Just having to have your hair cut certain way. What is it with the hair?
It just has to be. It can't be super long. It has to be upkempt, and you can't have a beard. You could have like a little mustache kind of thing. But now they can have the full thing. And to me, the way I look at it is, back in the 1970s, 80s, and even the 90s, there was one baseball team that was winning more than anyone else, and that was the New York Yankees. So back in the day, players were okay with it because if you want to go join the best team that's always winning, then you got to do it. But in today's world, the Yankees aren't always winning. So if you're not the premier destination to go to, and you also have this, what's the word I'm looking for, Stone Age policy about facial hair, then I definitely think it did deter some free agents from coming here. I don't think it had anything to do with Soto because he doesn't have any facial hair, but I do think it does have something to do. And it's funny because you see when all these guys leave the Yankees, like Gleyber Torres, they post their new photo with the team this year, and they have big, full beards. So you see that a lot of them wanted to have it there anyway. I definitely do think it has influenced the landscape a little bit, though. All right, JD, let's get into what.
And didn't Soto, didn't he just buy that guy like a car?
Yeah, he did. He bought him a $92,000 Chevy Tahoe.
Yeah, because he switched number. So
yep. I do believe that guy requested that car. Like, Soto was planning to get him a Lamborghini, something way more expensive. But Brett Beatty is a Texas boy who wanted a Chevy Tahoe. So he got him the vehicle he wanted. Wouldn't be the vehicle I would want, but good for him. It was a cool move to see Soto do that. And one thing I did think of, who was it? Jeff McNeil, who had to give up his number to Lindor a couple years ago, and Lindor got him nothing. Imagine Jeff McNeil today when your teammate just got a beautiful brand new car and you got absolutely shafted. So I did find that a little bit funny.
Definitely.
All right, JD, one thing we have to do here, as soon as I find it, which I will, maybe, found it. We're going to go into our recap from yesterday. I'll start with you, JD. How did you do on yesterday's slate?
Thursday was actually a down day. Just seemed like teams I backed just could not shoot the ball.
One of those days.
Yeah, it was just one of those days. It happened with a few different teams. And then the Suns actually last night to just kind of cap it all off. Yeah. We're going to get into a game later that I'm going to bring up the Suns with, so I'm not going to get into that yet. But yeah, man, it was an overall actually down day for me. As far as the week is actually up, the month is up. So we are still going along good, though.
There we go. Yeah, for me yesterday, I had 2 free plays. The Magic money line were one of my free plays. We cashed that. They had a nice comeback and a strong finish to that game. And the other one was the Suns. So we will talk more about that game going forward. I do want to quickly say about that game. I do think that maybe the Spurs had a little pep in their step. We all know that Wemby was ruled out for the year. Maybe they had a little extra juice to try and play for him, but the Spurs may be a team I fade going forward. I will let that out a little early. But JD, we have a beautiful 5-game slate we're breaking down today, starting off with a college basketball game. You ready to dive in and break it down?
Let's do it.
Let's get it, brother. First and only college basketball game we'll be breaking down today is the Battle of Michigan. Michigan State taking on Michigan, and the game is at Michigan. The game is at the Chrysler Center starting tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox in Ann Arbor. Coming into this game, both teams have only 5 losses on the year. Michigan State's 21-5, and Michigan is 20-5. Going over to conference play, the Spartans are 12-3, while the Wolverines are 12-2. Looking at how these teams have done in recent performances, Michigan State had an impressive win over Purdue last time out on the 18th. They won 75-66. Game before that, they beat up on Illinois at Illinois 75-65. And the game before, they lost to Indiana, but I do believe that was an outlier game. We spoke about that when we broke down the Purdue game the other day. For Michigan, they're coming in on a pretty hefty win streak here. They've been playing some great basketball. They are coming in off wins over Ohio State, Purdue, Indiana, Oregon, and everybody's favorite Rutgers. JD, we're going to start with you. What do you like in the Battle of Michigan tonight?
You know, man, with this line where it is currently, I do not have a play. I actually just put this game up here just because it's a big game, and actually it should be a really good game. The line where it sits now at 3 is one of those lines where if it moves up a little bit, then State, I would be happy to play State. And if it moves down a little bit, I would be happy to actually back the favorite. So it's one of those games I think is just lined very well. I actually wanted to actually play State here. That's what I wanted to before I saw lines, all that kind of stuff. But for me, the line is just not quite enough there. Because as far as Michigan goes, yes, they've been winning games, but they haven't been covering games though.
And they haven't been impressive. They haven't been impressive in these games.
And some of these games that they're not covering are very small spreads too. These aren't 6, 7, they're not covering 2.5 point spreads in actually some of these games. I've also noticed in a bunch of those that they've actually gotten out to a pretty good sized lead, and then just throughout the second half, it just comes back to a tight game.
Every game that's the game script for them. They get up big early, and then as the game goes on, the lead goes like this. So I agree with you 1,000%. So, I mean,
they're just not a team that I'm looking to really lay points with currently. With all that said, I think this should be a good game. This should be a very close game. I would definitely have to lean actually to the State side here. But for me, like I said, it's just not quite enough points.
Joseph, I am with you, brother. This is absolutely a Michigan State +3 play for me. I love the Spartans in this game, and I love how they've been playing lately. Freshman Jace Howard has been unbelievable. His points have almost tripled per game since he's been starting the last 4 or 5 games, and he's been an absolute demon on the offense for this Michigan State team. I do believe, or Jace Richardson, and he's been unbelievable, and I think that's going to continue here tonight. He was huge in that Purdue game. I've been a huge fan of his all year, and they also have a guy, Jordan Akins, who's really good at attacking the rim. Some things about this Michigan team that just baffle me a bit. They should be so much better on the interior than they are. They have Golden down there, who feels like he's 8 feet tall and the biggest guy on the court. He's averaging 15.5 points per game, but in these big games, he seems to get into foul trouble and seems to kind of taper off a bit. And then Danny Wolf, another big man, the 7-footer. These guys have the best interior they should on paper, and they really have struggled. With Michigan State, they have guys like Jackson Kohler who are down low that have been playing some really big basketball. They have Cooper down low that's been playing some really big, tough basketball. And this Michigan State team is a team that I may have going far in the NCAA tournament. I do have to see how they play in the Big Ten tournament and how they finish this year. But this team under Izzo has gotten better and better and better as the year's gone on. They've played great basketball against good opponents, and I do anticipate that here tonight. I'll let it out early. One of my favorite plays on the board tonight is going to be Michigan State plus the 3 points. JD, I'm hoping we get you there by tip-off, so you ride it with me, but more to come. If you do end up taking them, where are you going to be posting that?
We're going to be posting that in the MoneyBall Metrics Discord.
We go.
But one more thing, Alpha. Do you happen to have the Big Ten odds up, or either
Like who's going to win the Big Ten?
Yes.
Let me pull it up here. Give me 1 second.
I'm trying to pull up some actual schedules here while you're doing that.
Conference winners, Big Ten. Michigan is the favorite at -105. Michigan State is the second favorite at +185. And then nobody else realistically has a chance. Everyone else is either +500 or plus.
What?
So it goes +500 Wisconsin, +850 Maryland. You like Wisconsin?
I want Wisconsin at +500. Give me actually that as a show pick because I'm looking at your schedules here, and I like theirs the rest of the way out here. And actually, those top two teams are like playing like each like other, here and just their schedules. Yeah, I'd actually +500. I actually do not mind that whatsoever.
How many games back are they? Hold on, give me 1 second here. I'm trying to pull it up. Big Ten. So Wisconsin, they're only one loss back of Michigan State, and they're 2 losses back on Michigan. So if you like Wisconsin, you're definitely going to be rooting for the Michigan Wolverines in this spot tonight. All right, JD. Well, I like that. I respect that. Let's see that happen here.
Just a little random thing there.
I'm not random at all. I like that. I've been riding Wisconsin the last couple weeks, so I like this Wisconsin team. They've been paying a big dividends for me. They've been cashing a bunch of plays, so let's see Wisconsin continue to get it done. All right, JD, you ready to move over to the association, get into some pro ball?
Let's do it.
Let's get it, brother. First game we're breaking down today is going to be the New York Knickerbockers taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs are coming into this game 25-4 at home, guys. They are the best team at home in the NBA. They're 45-10 on the year. Well, the Knicks come in. They've been pretty good themselves, 37-18 on the year and 17-8 away. One thing I want to bring up in this game, the Knicks may be a little shorthanded, and not only may they be a little shorthanded, they played an overtime game last night that went down to the final play of the game. JD, I'll start with you. This game has a ridiculously high total at 240.5. Actually, before I start with you, let's go over the injury report because I think that's a big piece to this game. Mitchell Robinson is still not back yet, and the 2 big names that are true game time decisions are Josh Hart and OG Anunoby. 2 massive players for this Knicks team and 2 starters. For Cleveland, nobody. JT Thor is the only guy who's a game-time decision, and he is not a real factor for this team. So, JD, all that being said, what do you like in this game between the Cavs and the Knicks?
Yeah, just like you said, the Knicks are actually like coming off of that overtime game against the Bulls. And I have to shout out Joe. I believe he's not in the chat yet. But Joe gave out the Bulls on the money line, and it didn't hit, but damn, it was close. So like shout out just actually for that like close like call there. To me, this comes down to actually Josh Hart. Whether actually not like I actually make a play here. As far as the Cavs team total over, that's where I'm like focused on. And actually like without Hart, just actually like as far as the Knicks actually like defense goes, I mean that's a big like part of it.
Oh yeah.
So without that, and like I've been saying now for like weeks, it seems like the Knicks defense has just not been playing like that actually well.
Yep.
And the Cavs, we know, I mean, we don't have to really go into the numbers and everything. I mean, the Cavs like offense is great.
Yep.
So for me, especially with the Knicks coming off of that overtime game, this really seems like a team total over spot. I would just kind of like to know if actually Hart's going to play or like not. So that's why I haven't actually played it yet. But that's where I'm going to look at it, though.
I'm trying to see here if we have any updates. I know it's been true game time decisions, and normally I would be having 45 texts from my Knicks fan group pages that I'm in that would let me know the lineup, so I don't see anything yet, but I have to imagine that neither OG Anunoby or Josh Hart are going to be able to go in this game. They just had a 9-day break for the All-Star break, and neither of them played last night. So, to be honest, neither of them also gave it a shot in warm-up. So Josh Hart and OG were ruled out way in advance of last night's game. So the fact that they're turning it around today does not make me feel very confident that they'll be in the lineup. I do like the Cavs in the spot, which is very rare for you to hear me on this show say that I don't like the Knicks in the spot. But I don't. I think this is a typical Cavs play when they play the Knicks. The Knicks really struggle against some of the top teams in the league. And I do think that this will be a Cavs play. If you like the Knicks, I would wait because I do feel like that this line will get larger as the day goes on. David in the comments does think one of the two will play. I'm not sure if they will. I thought Hart was going to play last night, and they ruled him out very early. If he does go, the Knicks have a decent chance to cover, but This Cavs team is clicking on all cylinders. They made a lot of good trades at the trade deadline. Adding a guy like Hunter from Atlanta was a really big trade for them, and I do think that this team is in a very good position. The Knicks need to get healthy. They need to get Mitchell Robinson back so we really have a full idea of what this team could be going into the playoffs. But a shorthanded Knicks going up against a very deep Cavs team is something I'm not a big fan of, especially since the Knicks are very tired after playing that game last night. They went very late. They had to then go travel back over to Cleveland. Just seems like a difficult spot for the Knicks today. Don't think any way I could be on them in this spot. Definitely lean the Cavs here for sure. All right, JD, let's keep it rolling. Next game we're going to be breaking down is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies taking on everybody's favorite Orlando Magic. JD, before the All-Star break, for about 2 weeks, all I did was come on the show and tell you how much I hate this Magic team, that I'm never playing them again, that all they do is screw me. Well, I took them last night. I bit the bullet. They were the right play, and they finally got a win for me. So the Orlando Magic back on my good graces a little bit, but we'll have to see how they perform tonight. As you guys know, they did play last night, so this is a back-to-back for the Magic. But not only is this a back-to-back for the Magic, also a back-to-back for the Memphis Grizzlies. They played the Pacers yesterday. Well, I mean, you could say they played the Pacers. They were physically out there, but they weren't really playing the Pacers as the Pacers just ran all over them. Grizzlies had a big lead after the first quarter, and then they lost the second quarter, but what felt like 40 points, and the game just got worse and worse as the game progressed. JD, what do you like in this one? Injury report is showing that the Grizzlies have nobody listed on it. For the Magic, they have Jalen Suggs as a game-time decision, and Mo Wagner, we don't have to keep saying it every game, he is out for the season. What do you like in this spot?
Well, as far as the Magic goes, you know, we've talked a lot about them over the past few weeks here. And I said that I wasn't going to ever back them again until they won back-to-back games. Well, last night, it's the first time as now they've officially won back-to-back games.
Yep.
But tonight is one of my favorite spots that actually we come across here. You have the Grizzlies. They're on a back-to-back. The Grizzlies are the best back-to-back team in the entire league.
Yep.
Also, the Grizzlies are on the road. Their offense seems to do better on the road. I'm going back to an old trusty play that I love specifically in this spot, and that's the Grizzlies' first half team total over 55.
Okay.
That number for the Grizzlies is extremely low, and I understand why. Because as far as the Magic, as far as their actual defense, and then actually they also play slow. So I understand why the number is so low, but I don't think it should be that low. Because like I said last night, they didn't. I don't know. They
never showed up. They never made it to the arena.
Yeah, especially in the first half, they shot so many threes and just could not make it.
Yep.
So now they've had that game where they, they're back from break. They've gone through a game now. So I think this is the game where we see them actually back. Just the whole situation for me just sets up so well. So for me, this is my favorite play of the day by far. Memphis, first half, team total over 55.
There we go. And shout out Joe. Welcome to the show, brother. You're here every day. Joe was also saying he likes Jaren Jackson over 1.5 3-pointers made. I love that play, Joe. Very sharp. Should I keep this short and sweet? Should we keep it moving? I think I should. You can't fade the Grizzlies after losing last night just because of a bad performance. And you can't start back in the Magic because of one halfway decent performance. They played a very lowly Hawks team where they almost blew that game, the Magic. So I'm still not sold on this team. On the other side, I am sold on this Grizzlies team. They've been one of the best teams in the NBA all year long, and I expect that to continue tonight. I know they had a bad performance last night, but I do think they will bounce back here, and I am taking them on the full game at the -3.5. I know the game is in Orlando. The Magic have been better at home, but we're going to get a very fatigued Magic team tonight, and I do think they struggle. I also don't know how the Magic deal with the size that the Grizzlies have. Jaren Jackson Jr., Zach Edey, they should have some big games down low when they don't really have an answer for them on the other side with Mo Wagner out for the year. I know I like Goga Batadze, but Goga Batadze, I like him for his offensive prowess, not his defensive prowess. So in this game tonight, I think Goga Batadze will struggle, and I do think the bigs of the Grizzlies will have a big performance, and I think the Grizzlies probably win this game by double digits. So I will take the -3.5. Hope they blow them out, and let's go Grizzlies. All right, JD, let's keep it moving right along to the fourth and second to last game on the slate we're going to be breaking down today. We are breaking down the Detroit Pistons, who are taking on the San Antonio Spurs. We all know the story with the Spurs right now, and really for the year. Victor Wembanyama, he would have been the Defensive Player of the Year, one of the most electric and best players in the NBA, is out for the season with a blood clot. And to be honest, JD, they played a good game last night, but I don't think that's indicative of how this team will play going forward. I think that they were rallied because it was a tough loss. You know, losing your guy like Wembanyama, he is the leader of the team. Losing him, they wanted to play for him, and they came out and they played a great performance against the Suns, but I don't think that continues here. So I'm going to start this game. I'm taking the Pistons tonight minus the 4.5. It's a back-to-back for the Spurs as well, and I do think a lot of their big men are going to be a little fatigued. Playing a back-to-back, eating up all the minutes that Victor Wembanyama would take for them is going to be a difficult spot for me, and I do think we see a big performance from this Pistons team that had a very good first half of the year. They're 29-26, 15-13 on the road, and they do have some players there. I think Cade Cunningham has a big performance. I think Jalen Duren has a big performance, and I think these guys win this game rather easily tonight. Who do you have in the Pistons Spurs tonight, JD?
I mean, yeah, just to start off, as far as actually last night's game go, I mean, did the Spurs really play that well? Or did the Suns just really not play that actually
Suns did not play well yesterday, I can tell you that.
And to me, that was I don't know. That was such a Sun spot, and I thought it was a great buy low spot on the Suns. Just because of how they had been playing, but then now coming out of the All-Star break, they need wins.
Yeah.
They need them bad. And I thought that was a great spot, and it just wasn't there. So anyway, but yes, Spurs tonight, they're on the back-to-back. I'm going back to pretty much what I was saying yesterday. As far as the Pistons, I don't see how the Spurs are really going to stop them, especially down low.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. So for me, and how I'm going to be attacking the Spurs, and actually probably a lot of games going forward here. I'm gonna look at their actually who there's playing team total overs. And tonight I just think it's too low. You can get the Pistons team total at 100 and actually I'm seeing it bouncing around. You get it 119.5. You can get it at 120, 120.5. It's kind of all over the place right this second. But anyway, it's one I haven't locked in yet. I actually just haven't had a chance to, but this will be a play. I am going to be on the team total over tonight. As far as the points, I actually don't actually mind that. I just see a little bit more of an edge on the team total over though.
I can appreciate that for sure. And then when you take a look at how these teams have done against the spread this year, Detroit's one of the best ATS teams in the league. They are 29-24, covering at 55%. Then you take a look at the Spurs, who they had Wemby for every game up until last night. They're 25-28. They're bottom 10 in the NBA ATS. And this is when they had Wemby. You're going to now tell me on a back-to-back, tired legs, guys that played the full game last night, after dealing with the Wemby news last night. That had to be emotional for all of them. So I think fatigue is going to be a big factor in this game. The Pistons are by far my favorite play in the NBA tonight. I'll let that out early. Minus 4.5. I don't need to say anything else in this game. The Pistons are my favorite play today. It's going to be a multiple unit play for me as well. JD, we only have one game left to break down today, but after that, we still have a couple more segments that you guys know that we all do on this show. Let's dive right into it. Game we're going to be breaking down, last one on the slate, is the Golden State Warriors taking on the Sacramento Kings. These guys are coming into this game with identical records, 28-27. Warriors 13-14 on the road, while the Kings are 14-13 at home. These guys are 500 ball clubs, no matter where they play. If they play on the road, if they play at home, doesn't matter. They're a 500 ball club. Over to this game specifically, the only big injury news is Jonathan Kuminga is not going to be in this game. JD, very rarely, but I do occasionally like to look at the ESPN BPI, what they're predicting in this game, and they have the Warriors at a 50.1% favorite and the Kings at a 49.8%. I don't know what that means with the other missing 0.2%. Kind of wild. It doesn't add up to 100% when they do it that way, but that's the way that they do it. What do you like in this game? Break it down for the people.
You know, when I just first simply look at this, I'm actually going to look at the Kings here. And as far as their lineup, I see offense, but I don't see defense. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is going to be some trouble for actually them here over the last half of the season. I'm definitely going to be picking my spots to actually go against this team. And as far as and as far as tonight goes, I'm actually going to do it here. And I'm going with, my trusted play that I always give out. I'm going with the Warriors team total over. You can actually get that at 119 flat. There's a spot where I think they'll actually be more in the 125 range. I just don't see the Kings actually getting stops here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very high scoring game myself, and I do think that the Warriors pull it out. So I'm going to be taking them on the money line at a minus 130. I know it's a little juicy at the minus 130, but I do think they get this one done. I'm not going to be a big fan of the Kings in the second half. We all know that they traded away De'Aaron Fox. They brought in a couple ancillary pieces to go into DeMar DeRozan. They brought in Zach LaVine, but this team is not exactly scaring anyone or anyone thinks they're going to make a deep run. The Warriors need to start ripping off some wins, and this team started to get better towards the end before we got to the All-Star break. We know they have Jimmy Butler. They're starting to get all their guys back in the rotation. We just saw Steph Curry win the All-Star game MVP. I do think he's going to have a little juice in his step coming in off of that. And I do think the Warriors get this one done. It's not my favorite play on the night, but it will be on my card. The one hesitation I have, JD, is this is the third game between these two teams this season, and the Kings have won both of the first two. That being said, they did have De'Aaron Fox in the first two games. The Warriors didn't have Jimmy Butler in the first two games, but that does make me a little hesitant. I still do like the Warriors in the spot, and they should be able to get it done. Over to the comments quickly. Our guy Joe loves the Sagotness prop ladder. He's taking it tonight, by the way. Well done with the usage of Sagotness. You know I love to call him that. I'm a big Sabonis guy. I think he could have a big spot in this game. He should be able to get rebounds. But overall, I do still think the Warriors are the better team, and they should be able to get it done, even though they are on the road. JD, any other plays on this game or any other things you want to talk about before we dive into our best bets of the day?
Not really. As far as the college slate, I actually don't have any plays.
We have a couple here. Our guy David has been coming in here every day giving out his daily parlay. I believe he's won 2 out of the last 3 days. He's helping Hefe get out of the closet that he lives in. So David is dropping his parlay of the day here before he leaves. His CBB best bets are Purdue Fort Wayne minus 3.5 under 152 there, and then Wright State minus 3.5. So David, good luck. I will be rooting for those plays. And JD, I think it's about time we give the people the best bets. What do you think?
Yep.
Let's do it, brother. Best bets for Friday, February 21st. Jesus, I had to get through that. JD, do you have 1? Do you have 2? Do you have 3? How many do you have for the people today?
Let's actually go with 2 today. Let's go back to that Grizzlies game. This is my favorite play on the probably my favorite play on the whole board today. Give me the Grizzlies first half team total over 55. And then going back to that last game that we just talked about, give me the Warriors full game team total over 119.
There we go. JD, I'll quickly give mine. Michigan State plus the 3 is my college best bet, and my NBA best bet. Y'all already know what it is. The Detroit Pistons minus 4.5. Get your phones out. Get your screenshots ready, because I have on the screen right now the best bet sheets for Friday, February 21st. Yet again, my 2 are Michigan State plus 3 and the Pistons minus the 4.5. JD is the Grizzlies first half team total over 55 and the Warriors team total over 119. JD, it's been another fantastic week and another fantastic show. Do you have any parting words for the people before we get the hell out of here this weekend?
Yeah, I'm not going to go too deep in actually to this currently. David, yeah, man, the same to you. But in our gambling space, man, there's just been so much shit going on. And I haven't gotten too deep into it. What I have seen, man, some of these people and how they bet and everything it's wild to me. And the people pay for some of these things. But I'm just going to leave it at this, guys. When you're making bets, the price is the only thing that actually matters. If you're looking to win long-term, the price you pay on a bet is literally all that matters there.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind when you're following people and actually stuff like that. When you bet something at minus 110, and then somebody else bets the same bet at minus 150, that is not the same bet. That's an entirely different thing.
Yep.
And I don't know how people don't understand that, but it seems a bunch of people don't understand that recently.
You're right.
But anyway, yes. So be careful out there on actually who you follow, tail, and all that kind of stuff. But it is Friday. It has been a long week. I'm definitely glad it's Friday. And yeah, let's just do what we do on Friday nights. Let's fucking win.
Let's fucking win, baby. Circle the wagons. We will be back same time, same place Monday to break it down. I believe we have Hefe back on Monday too. So get ready. The trio will be back breaking down the slate. I hope everyone has a great weekend out there. And JD, I'll see you Monday, brother. Peace.
See you Monday.